Okay, now coming back to this. So basically now we need to understand that what this word profit is. Now why it is important to understand is because if it is not profit, if we are not existing for profit, we are not going to classify the important condition of PGBP head. So until and unless we establish, we exist with the objective of profit, or if you are giving services also, that goes under this head only, that your intention is to generate profit out of it. So if you defeat that objective, it is not going to be text under this head. So moving further, when I talk about this profit, just a second. Now when I talk about profit in cash or kind, okay, profit may be realized in money or in money's worth. So say for example, you have sold goods. Say for example, you are a particular person who has sold goods to Motisans. Now Motisans currently don't have money to repay. Rather that money, they have paid you jewelry. So you cannot go to court and say that Motisans has not paid me money, that's why I'm not going to pay tax. You were paid, but that profit you received was in kind. So whether it is cash or kind will be considered. Capital receipts are not generally taken into account. So capital receipts will be going under which head? Capital asset chapter, right? Voluntary receipts. This is another topic. Now let's take example of a particular person.
सर यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल।
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही।
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
कुछ तो इतना बड़ा हो गया, मेरा फोन चार्ज पे हटा दिया तुमने। लग गया तेरा फोन चार्ज।
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही।
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही।
सर कुछ बोल भी रहे हैं, नहीं बोल रहे?
मैं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ, कुछ बोला ही नहीं अब तक, कैसे आवाज आएगी?
अरे सर बोल रहे हैं,
वे बोल रहे हैं।
बोल तो अरे सर आवाज नहीं आ रही।
रुक जा ना, हम लोग को एरर होगा।
गाने
चलाने जीवन
भाई सर तो पढ़ाए जा रहे हैं।
नहीं, कहाँ पढ़ा रहे हो
भाई? ये तो लिखे जा रहे हैं।
भाई पता नहीं क्या कर रहा है। सर को बोल
सर का म्यूट।
Voice audible now?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Okay, if in case you feel that my voice is not audible, please write in the chat immediately.
लिखा तो था सर, आप तो स्टॉप ही नहीं करे, आप तो आगे बढ़ाते गए।
हाँ नहीं देख लिया मैंने, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। It gets very difficult because on one side I have this camera also and the another side I have to teach also. So अभी voice आ रहा है? Is this audible?
Yes sir.
If I don't see na, do one thing, because your videos are on my screen, so just do this so that I'll understand that there is some problem and I'll stop immediately. Okay? So when I'm talking about profit,
do what?
Just do a thumbs down so that I'll understand that there is some problem.
Thumbs down नहीं है सर इसमें, thumbs up ही है।
अरे हाथ से करना है, हाथ से।
अरे हाथ से करना है, खुद की वीडियो से। क्या है
ठीक है, हो जाता है। अभी there are 19 days more to go plus extension followed. So now coming back to this thing, when I'm talking about profits, so say for example, if I'm going to Motisans and if in return, rather than giving me cash for my services, say for example, you are the auditor of Motisans, you have a bill of 50 lakh rupees. Motisans says that, I don't have cash right now, please take this jewelry worth rupees 50 lakh. So even if you are receiving goods in kind, that will be part of your profit. Capital receipts are not generally included in this chapter. They will be included under which chapter? Capital head. When I talk about voluntary receipts, So I was explaining you what is the voluntary receipt. So let me give you an example again. So say for example, we have a lawyer, right? Now this particular person, so he appointed a lawyer to say for example, fight a divorce case, right? Now she is also involved in this. This particular person is going to pay him the fees for his services. Now after the decision, the divorce was decided. The particular decision was that he particular person is going to pay rupees, say for example 20,000 per month, because she needs to take care of herself and their kids. Does these things happen in real life also or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
if you will see, she earned money. She hasn't paid anything to lawyer, right? To this particular lawyer, but then also she is earning some fees out of it. So basically, if I talk about what is the provision, when I talk about this provision, what it says is, just read this line, just read this paragraph till here.
Or under the obligation to
Done, read with this.
Yes, sir.
Application of the gain of trade is immaterial. Now what this mean is, gains made even for the benefit of community by a public body would be liable to pay tax. Now what this definition means is, to say for example, you started with a organization that is basically incurred with a social objective of eradicating corona. Okay. Now, how you are planning to eradicate corona is, say for example, you are working on certain vaccine that is going to cure this particular disease. Now, what you are trying to say to the tax authorities is that my objective is to do benefit of public. So the profit that I'm deriving out of this business, I'm not going to pay any tax. So what authorities have to say is, authority says that even एक second. Okay, please turn off your this. So if I talk about this, it is necessary to attract the provisions. It is necessary the business of profession should be carried out at least for some time during the accounting year, but not necessarily throughout that year, and not necessarily by the assessee owner personally, but should be under his discretion and control. Now the legality of income, say for example, you are doing drug business. Now you will say that it is illegal business, not liable to tax. But what it says is that even if it is illegal business, even if it is business, profession or services, you will be liable to pay tax. Income from distinct businesses, each distinct business will be liable to pay tax. Now coming to the computation, profit should be computed after deducting the losses and expenses. Now say for example, you have certain sales minus cost of goods sold, minus salary, minus etc. etc. So basically, if this is the situation, the income tax allows you to claim any expenses, any loss incurred in respect to that particular income. Now, what is the method of accounting we follow in PGBP? Is it accrual or cash basis?
Accrual.
Accrual.
Whichever is earlier.
Accrual.
Whichever is earlier, accrual or cash, whichever is earlier.
Accrual.
Accrual method or cash basis, whichever is earlier.
This
Acha, in house property, which method we followed?
Whichever is earlier.
Whichever is earlier.
In salary?
Whichever is earlier.
Whichever is earlier.
Whichever is earlier.
In other sources?
Cash.
भैया ऐसे तो कैसे काम चलेगा, तुम लोग लाइन से फेल हो जाओगे. Just take 1 or 2 minutes and find out on internet which methods we follow under different heads. जल्दी से ढूंढो कौन कौन सा मेथड भी फॉलो. Let's do that as homework. Let's come to the next slide. So in the business, profit and gain and income from other sources, these are two heads in which accordance shall be computed in accordance either with the cash or mercantile system of accounting regularly employed by the SSC. So under these two heads, it can be either cash system or it can be mercantile, that is due basis, whichever is followed by the SSC. Is my voice audible to you guys? Sanya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Vinamra को आई नहीं रही. Hi Aryan. Is there any problem with the voice you guys are facing?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm taking it further. So when I talk about this, however, as per section 145B, now this is a specific section, certain income would be taxable in the following manner. So now basically what they are trying to say is, if I talk about in general aspect in business, so what we do is we follow the concept of due basis, that is your mercantile basis. What is mercantile system? Arya, what is mercantile system?
Sir, due basis.
Due basis. What is due basis?
Sir, cash is not received.
Or not paid at time.
Diksha, what is mercantile system?
Transaction occurred but cash not received.
Transaction occurred but cash not received. तो उसका क्या करें फिर?
Sir,
We will account on the date of the transaction.
So
not
that
when
is
the
the
cash is received.
that is the reason. What I meant by due is whether you have received or not. How you explain the mercantile system is whether that particular amount is received or not, we are going to include that as a part of our books of account. So say for example, rent. Now rent, whether it was paid or not paid as your business expense, you will have to take it into the accounts of that particular financial year. This is the meaning of mercantile system of accounting. So in business, we generally follow this due nature. Now due nature is what? Even though we have not received, we are about to receive it, we will consider in that particular period. But income tax says that there are certain specific things, specific provisions that we will be taxing according to this specific provision. So what it says, interest received by an assessee on compensation or on enhanced compensation shall be deemed to be the income of the year in which it is received, and such income is taxable under the head of income from other.
On the
What is the meaning of this income received on enhanced compensation or compensation?
Sir, advance में receive हुई हो.
So let's take example that government came and then they told you that we are going to acquire your particular property and we are going to pay you compensation. Also at the same time, we are going to pay you certain enhanced compensation because you deal in mask in current situation of coronavirus, we are going to include it. But what happened is, since it is government hasn't paid us for, say, for example, 5 years. Now, when government is going to pay compensation plus enhanced compensation, they are also going to pay us interest for that particular 5-year period. So we are talking about this interest, that whenever we are receiving this interest, it will be taxable when you receive that particular amount and will be taxable under income from other sources. Assistance in form of subsidy or grant or cash incentive received by anything shall be deemed to be the income of the previous year in which it is received. Now, what is subsidy, grant or something? So basically right now government wants that factories should be set up for sanitizers, should set up for the manufacturing of ventilators, should set up for the manufacturing of masks and all these. So government is giving them subsidy. Now the subsidy is a benefit that government gives if you do certain activities that government has asked you to do. They give you cash incentive, they give you various benefits. If that is the case, we are going to consider it on received basis. So now let's understand what is the main reason why we are having this specific provision. Because generally business follows the mercantile system of accounting due basis. But if it is a specific point 1, 2, 3, we are going to consider this as on received basis. Do you understand what I am talking about basically? So in business, we follow mercantile system of accounting, but for few specific things, we are going to adopt the cash system of accounting. Now, have you read the word IFRS somewhere?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So when I talk about IFRS, what do you understand by this word IFRS? Don't tell me International Financial Reporting Standards.
These are the accounting standards which are
Which are
followed
made
by
by
Are to be followed internationally.
Why I follow these standards?
So
I don't want to
that
follow.
in every whichever country the company is, their investor can know what's the financial situation of the company.
Sir, अगर हाँ
This is
comparable
mainly done by the MNCs companies when the companies has more than matlab setups in different countries.
Okay. So in
हर
short, can I say that this is basically bringing a uniformity of accounts irrespective your country? Does this
Yes.
statement make sense?
yes,
Yes.
sir.
Pritesh, Arya,
Yes, sir.
देवांश, आप पूरा सो जाओगे क्या?
sir.
एक काम करो, just close your eyes and put it on earphones and then you can sleep.
Sorry. धीरे धीरे और लेटता जा रहा.
हाँ, that will make better sense, right?
सर बेचारी की आंखें नहीं खुल रही. देवांश भाई क्या हो गया?
Okay, so coming to this IFRS, so we all understood that, you know, it is international financial reporting standards to bring back into the accounts into the uniformity. Indian accounting standards are also trying to do this only now.
Yes, sir.
Let's take can you give me any example of accounting standard?
IFRS 2.
What does IFRS 2 says?
Inventory.
वो IAS 2 है.
वो IAS है, IAS है,
IAS 2.
IAS.
Oh,
Acha, abhi,
IFRS भी था.
honestly, what you guys are doing for the entire day?
कुछ नहीं.
मतलब अभी जैसे आपका क्लास
कुछ
हो
भी
गया
नहीं.
1.5-2 घंटे का, what you are doing, because देखो, if I talk about the series also, like if you have seen Netflix, you know, Amazon Prime, Hotstar and all these, it also gets boring after some time कि क्या कितने videos देखें, like how many videos I'll see in a day, how many series I'll see in a day. But अभी what you guys are doing?
PUBG.
हाँ सर, PUBG.
PUBG ने बहुत जीवन खराब कर रखा है बच्चों का.
नहीं सर, हम तो ये सोचते हैं कोरोना पूरी दुनिया को खत्म कर देगा.
हाँ.
अभी ले लो जितने मजे लेना है.
केशव की, सर केशव की विश नहीं सुनी सर आपने?
अभी तो wish list, even if you have wish list, that won't make any sense other than the food, other than your house related wish list. That's all you can fulfill.
हाँ सर, केशव बता, अपनी विश बता सर को.
But मुझे अगर अच्छा, say for example, if you guys have time, what my recommendation is, like Udemy, if you have tried, just go to Udemy and start enrolling for various courses. For the basic courses, like you should opt for Excel, very important one. You should opt for financial reporting standards, IFRS, another important one. Third is financial modeling, another important. Fourth is forensics. Fifth is your communication personality. Sixth is your business related courses. So use this time well so that you can, ज़्यादा नहीं, you just only spare 1 or 2 hours, you will get a certificate for that. ठीक है, so please use this time. क्या बोल रहे हो?
नहीं सर, अच्छी बात है.
सर पूछ रहा है ये पेड है या नहीं है.
तो देखो, मैंने ऑलरेडी बिजनेस, आपके जो एक ग्रुप है GCC स्टूडेंट्स पे, उसने बिफोर सम टाइम आई हैव शेयर्ड लिस्ट ऑफ बिजनेस कोर्सेज, एंड सिमिलरली all top universities, including your Harvard, including your Stanford, including your MIT, all these top universities are right now offering courses for free considering coronavirus. So please don't miss this opportunity. Like there is one famous course on happiness, I forget, I read it in the newspaper yesterday. It is one of the most happiness course popularly worldwide, and now it is available for free. So use this time. Even if, say for example, if you want to prepare for IAS, how many of you want to go into civil services examination?
सर कोई नहीं.
Not anyone. Why?
Least.
No.
Sir, least interest.
Why?
अरे सर ट्रांसफर.
मतलब ठीक है, if you are planning to do something else also, there are जितने भी online, so let's understand what Corona has also done benefit also. So all these online teaching, all these top edtech startups, all these top universities are offering courses for free. You don't need to pay anything other than Udemy because it is a commercial enterprise. You can go to Harvard, you can go to Stanford, you can go to MIT, you can go to Peninsula, and all these universities are offering courses for free. So take up these courses, utilize this time. Coming back to this, so similarly, now what we have is Indian accounting standards. So what these accounting standards told us is that when you are now preparing books, that has to be according to these standards. Now what was income tax saying is, when I'm talking about income tax, so income tax is saying that, you know, method of accounting is mercantile system. Now mercantile system is due. That is, whenever it is due, I am going to incur it irrespective whether I have received the payment or not. Now, when I talk about stock, when I talk about salary, when I talk about different things. So what income tax decided is, income tax came out with their own standards, income computation and disclosure standards. So if I next talk you about ICDS, that means I'm talking to you about accounting standards only. But now these accounting standards are issued by tax authorities of India. Okay? Now, so far, now since you know that this is a government department and people don't have knowledge, because coming out with professional standards require a lot of knowledge, require a lot of skills, require a lot of manpower, require a lot of technology and all this. So till now, Income Tax Department of India, that is the Aikar Vibhag, hasn't come out with many of these standards, but so far they came out with these 10 standards. So when I'm talking about you ICTS, this, that means I'm talking to you about taxation accounting standards. And where you are going to follow these accounting standards, where you are following PGBP or income from other sources. Got it? समझ आ गया?
हाँ सर.
Okay. Now coming to the next. Now this is where we start with our chapter of income under PGBP. That is, now we are talking about the taxability of different incomes. So your income, I will be using certain section numbers in this chapter. It's not necessary that you should also study, but I recommend that you remember certain specific sections because it helps you when you are interacting with the professionals. Okay. Now coming to this income chargeable under this head, that means section 28. So what this section 28 is going to tell me about is that these are the incomes. These are the incomes that will be chargeable under this head. So first is naturally income arising to any person belonging to profit and gains or the profession that you have carried out. The second is, now when we started, someone told me commission, someone told me interest, someone told me rent. So now I'm talking about these income only. Any compensation or other payment due or to be received. Why due? Because we are following the mercantile system. A person by whatever name called managing the whole or substantially the whole of affairs of Indian company, affairs of Indian of any other company. Now, what type of income I am talking about? Can anyone tell me which income I am talking about over here? Any compensation or other payment due to or received by any person by whatever name called managing the whole or substantially the whole of the affairs of Indian company at or in connection with the termination of his management or office or modification of any terms relating thereto. Say for example, Mukesh Ambani retires today from Reliance Industries. When he is going to retire, he is going to draw a significant amount. Reliance is going to pay him a very good compensation. If that is the case, we are talking about this head. Any person by whatever name called holding an agency. You have seen a lot of agencies, basically middlemen involved in a lot of activities for any part relating to the business or in connection with termination of the agency. So say for example, if that agency has terminated you and they are paying you any compensation, again is going into this head. Now I am not reading each and every provision. Go at home today and read all these specific provisions. I'm just taking 1 or 2 points out of this. Income from specific services performed by its, एक second, I'm not able to see, by a trade professional or business income. Income derived by any trade professional, similar association from specific services rendered by them to their members. It may be noted that this form an exception to the general principle governing the assessment of income of mutual associations. As a result, trade professional or similar association specific services is deemed as carrying on business. Say for example, J Club. If they are carrying out certain services, that means even though they are carrying it for their own members, they will be classifying under this head income from business and profession. Income received or receivable. Like say for example, what happens is import license are being given. Say for example, you are into the medical line. So government will give you certain import licenses that only your organization can import those equipments. Now say for example, you are the founder of Ranbaxy. Ranbaxy is a pharma company. They are being given with certain licenses that they can only use it. Now what happens is you are being approached by another pharma company and you sold that particular license to that company at a profit. So in that case, this is also your income that is being classified under this head. Value of any benefit or perquisite, the value of any benefit or perquisite, whether convertible into money or not, arising from business or the exercise of any profession. So again, basically perquisite is what? Basically any services, any extra thing that you are given. Some due or received by a partner in a firm. Now when I'm talking about a partnership firm, this is also be included in this head. But what it says, now this is an important provision, any interest, salary, bonus, commission or remuneration by whatever name called received by a partner will be deemed to be income from business. However, where any interest, salary, bonus, commission, remuneration called or any part has not been allowed to be deducted in computation income from the firm, the income to be taxed shall be expected to the amount disallowed. Very tough statement. Now let's understand this, what it is trying to say using a help of an example. Suppose a firm pays interest to a partner at the rate of 20%. Now as per income tax is defined that you can pay interest up to 12%. So the excess 8% that this particular partner has received will be disallowed. So now how we are going to do calculation is, we are going to start with income from business, right? I am going to include profits plus interest on capital, but up to 8% will only be considered. So basically, if you will see, indirectly, I have eliminated this 8% or I have disallowed this. We are going to use this word very frequently, disallowed, in this income tax. So what this means is, in this entire PGBP income, first we are going to start with profits, right? In this profits, or let's take example, we will start with revenue. Now in the revenue, we deduct certain expenses and we get the profit. But in taxation, what we are going to deduct is, we are going to deduct these expenses, but according to tax only. Plus, we are now also going to add certain expenses. Now, when I'm adding certain expenses, it means I am adding a disallowed expenditure. And this will give you profit only. But now this profit will be according to tax. So when I'm talking about this expenses, I'm talking about allowed expenses. When I'm talking about this expenses, I'm talking about disallowed expenses. Clear? Okay, the video is going to stop in next 5 minutes. Do you want to continue or shall we stop?
Break.
So 5 minutes.
Break ले लेते हैं.
Okay, so we'll start again after the break.
Yes.
10.
Okay, okay, so I'm stopping it over here and then we are going to start it again.
At what time?
At what time?
So right now it is
11:15.
Right now it is 10:53. We'll start at 11.
11. क्या break दिया है?
11:15.
11:15 will
11:15.
11:15.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You can exit because I need to save a video, so that's why.